versus the Tracer. It's been consistent throughout this tournament, and consistently the Li-Ming poking comp, often with Sergeant Hammer, has dominated.
And when those were not available, Artanis seems to be the right one to go with the amateur opponent, just driving down that Immortal. Let's see how the team comps work, and the question will be if GG will actually be doing exactly the same as L5 did and banning Vala from the beginning. That would actually put L5 more into the Tracer comp.
We'll have to see. Let's see how they approach this. We could just see the Zarya ban as well if they want to play it a little bit differently. L5. Maybe if we see the Zarya and Zarya and Tasser bans, then what I want to see just simply isn't going to happen, and we'll see something completely different. But GG, in contemplation on this one. It was not their map pick, so it's not surprising that they would have to use some of this time to think and consider their options.
Well, who knows? Alpha was trying to pick Alarak and they couldn't really find Alarak and went with Greymane last night. So
that's right.
We may actually see some off team comp, not as usual team comps coming out from L5 again. Not likely though.
Well, there's no bonus pool anymore in our draft. We're using in-game draft, but obviously they can use every second they want to brainstorm their next move. They probably know who they want to ban here. It's going to be the Li-Ming. Okay, look, this is something that I feel like is a long time coming on this map. She has dominated massively here in Korea. She is the strongest hero for the map in terms of statistics and results. So L5 knowing that GG has first pick. We'll see if they go down the task ban route here. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, that also means GG has something else available for their first pick. They want to go with the strong first pick so they do not lose. See, L5 ending Vala again. This is exactly what we've been seeing for both days.
Let's see if GG commits to the Tassadar pick here. I really just, I want to see it, and we have seen it many times. This is a different scenario because not only if they want to go down the Task Tracer route, they don't have Li-Ming against them this time. And that's why this could potentially work, and it kind of ruins the example. I was coming up with the Li-Ming versus the Task Tracer dynamic because we're not going to see that Li-Ming versus Task Tracer, but can this work against another type of comp? Well, even if we want to go that way.
Yeah, even without Tracer coming out, L5 can just respond with an Arthas and Malfurion. The double route seems to be working fine against Tracer, but not just against Tracer, against any single comp right now. Arthas is #1, especially on VOE.
Swoy has been prioritizing the Malfurion pick in second rotation against normal compositions every time, so I think this is probably going to be a Muradin into Malfurion rotation here for L5 as they wait to respond to the Tracer commitment. If the Tracer does not come out, then they will ban it, absolutely going to the second phase. So I think that's the best approach here. That's probably the approach they're going to take the Muradin into the Malfurion. There it is. So this is the way to make sure you have the top tier support and the top tier warrior, and you could respond to the Task Tracer with the Arthas going forward. Let's see, GG, gonna pull it out here. You've already banned the Li-Ming. This is gonna be the best Task Tracer draft we've seen this tournament, I feel, if they do it. Sergeant Hammer is still on the table, but they may ban it in the second phase. That would be really powerful here.
Yeah, something else that has been and seemed to be in the past, but not anymore, is Illidan. Illidan has been kind of locked into his own because of all the CC. It's all started from the Malfurion meta, and then after, even more because Arthas is available and that armor and that the reduction on the attack speed, it's just so effective against Illidan. So basically Illidan is still playable, of course, but not the best choice.
Well, they can ban Arthas if they want to go down that path. We're going to see Lunara, so this is not going to be a Tracer comp. There's the ETC.
It's a speed boost and the shield onto Lunara. This is something new that we're seeing here. I like this move.
This is definitely new. Okay. There's the Lucio ban. We've seen this paired together actually in the Eastern Clash.
Yes, the speed boost and the attack boost with Lunara will be scary to actually think about it.
I believe it was Tempest who was running this, Lunara, ETC, TAS, Lucio in Eastern Clash, so a common ban here. And for GG, they already have their probably going to be solo DPS in terms of range. Wonder who they're going to ban here. We may still see GG pick up the Artanis with this, and they really win the race. I like this. That's a big threat for Lunara. could really mess up their plans in terms of engages with Void Prison. So for L5, we're looking at what range damage do we pick up here.
Well,
Sergeant Hammer.
Yeah, false stat is available, but this isn't the most macro map, so maybe that's in their second option into that. Tychus is still out there melting down ETC and taking off shield and grenade to finish off is...
Sergeant Hammer doesn't really work in this case, I feel, because they don't have any follow-up dive. Zeratul is removed. If they had Zeratul on their side, they could go into the Hammer for sure. Because they pressure, they poke, they harass while Hammer does the free damage. This might end up being a gray main comp for L5.
Yep, they can even put a Tyrael to save Moradin, which they did Arthas instead, and gray main also.
Okay, so Arthas instead of the Tyrael. It'd be crazy if we see Tyrael too, a triple tank.
It will be all in gray main, and Moradin Arthas just trying to what we call in Korean.
Imagine
it's a contest meta right in the front, just staying right next to the enemy.
Well, imagine the Tyrael comes out and everyone in Twitch chat loses their minds. His triple tank returns and everybody's like, no!
My goodness.
Well, that's a pretty pitiful win rate, but obviously only 8 games played.
Yeah, L5 made it work with Greymin yesterday in Powers of Doom. So, and that's even didn't have enough no Taster with Greymin or Tyrael, and they made it work.
Yeah, obviously wanted the Alarak, but they got the Greyman instead, and it looked like a wise pick. So for GG, I mean, obviously they need the support. It's going to be Sonya coming out.
Instead of Artanis. I like this pick too.
Could have been a Thrall as well. Obviously the Illidan not really a good choice with the Lunara. Perhaps with the Li Ming would have been better, but I like the Sonya skin.
Is this going to be triple warrior with Artanis?
I don't think so, but it is possible. If they really just want to force the race and say, come at me, then it could work, but they don't have a support that has healing over the massive amount of DOT damage that you're going to see on the side of GG with the Whirlwind. You know, the single target heals that are come out from Malfurion. You can't cover everyone here if they go into the Tyrael. Sanctification, on the other hand, can work in this case. The Artanis pick, though, doesn't really give you that, doesn't give you the heal or the shield. So I feel like if they're going to go triple warrior, they've got to go Tyrael.
Yep, and Zarya is still available, but it is to the players who actually play. Noblesse will be on Moradin, and there goes Sergeant Hammer. They needed some more consistent DPS damage.
I was going to say the other choice, too, that we didn't really mention at all is Nazeebo, which could have fit into the end of this draft for some extra poke, some racing power. So for L5, they're just going to have this big, beefy double tank line in front of Greymane and Hammer. They're going to try to force GG to engage. GG has good race potential as well, though. This is definitely going to be our most unique game on this battlefield yet. It's been mostly Li Ming versus Tracer. We're going to see Sonya make a dramatic return here in our second game. Can GG, with the lead in the draft, take this into a third game at 1-1, or is L5 going to go into match point? Let's find out right now on Battlefield of Eternity. BDG will be on Lunara, Jaehyun on Rhaegar, Good on Sonya, Hooligan on ETC, and Ujay on Tassadar.
In red, L5 SCSC on Sergeant Hammer, Nacho Jin on Greymane, Jungha on Arthas, Noblesse and Moradin, and Swoi on
Malfi. As expected. Cocktail build coming out here for Greymane. Malf actually holding on to that Shandos. There it is. So everything's pretty standard here. Lightning Bond coming out at level 1 for Rhaegar.
And Perfect Storm to build up that stacks. Actually, the Q build that we saw from Noblesse yesterday, I built up to 40-something stacks, and on the structures, it does over 1.5k just doing 1 Q on the structures. And takes out 4 ammo also, so that's something we did not see so much, but may be able to see again.
Good. Gonna get picked off here. Trying to get the kill on the Jungha, but a quick rotation up will put that dead in its tracks. Hooligan's going to power slide away. The cool thing about the Q build for Muradin, really, to me, in watching Korean play, is the mana reduction. I mean, that is the most important part is Meridian can Q more often without hearthing home,
That's
so
right.
he's more sustainable. And on this map, which is a race-oriented map, you want to avoid hearthing if possible. So Lunara works really well against this Malfurion, like I said, because he's single target heals. Yes, he can heal the Natrogen, but he's not healing that burn that's against him, you know, or the other teammate down there in the lane. In this case, Noblesse. So a hero like Rhaegar, for example, or Kharazim could kind of counter all that DOT damage, but Malfurion with his single target cannot. So that's one of the reasons why the pairing of Lunara versus the Malfurion is so strong. It's not the main reason they take it, but it's definitely one of the strong reasons to argue for it.
Yeah, of course. And also Arthas going for that Frost Presence to build up that quest. You finish, you can basically root everyone in the trails also, and rooting Lunara will be the best choice, and seems to be working pretty well in this battleground especially.
All right, so this is how they've set up right now. L5 is forcing GG to come in. Noblesse actually very, very low here. Will get away. Actually, the chain roots here going down onto good, and they're going to turn this fight around. Big Howling Blast coming in as well. Hooligan holding his own here, though. BDG getting those shields, just barely stays alive. As we're going to see Noblesse look for his passive to heal up. They're going to need to turn on that Immortal. It's halftime. Take the defensive positions here for a moment. As you can see already, Sergeant Hammer getting in position over the wall.
And both teams just tapping onto the fountain to get ready for the next fight. And L5 is actually going to go all in here and does get rooted, and good cannot come in for a second. Hooligan comes around from the side, power slides right into Swoy, and there goes one kill.
Yep, Swoy gets stuck there into the stun from the Immortal as well. This is going to be a 1 Immortal for L5 regardless. And when you look at the low spot or respawn timer for Swoy compared to how much this Immortal is going to do, he's going to be back up for the Immortal anyways. So this is obviously much better for L5. They're going to have a large amount of shields to work with. Their come at me bro strategy so far of we're going to defend, especially on the first phase where you have that defensive setup, is working really, really well.
Yep, for this first Immortal, they're going to make this push worth it even with Sergeant Hammer on the back. This is the time that Sergeant Hammer wants to put out that maximum damage possible.
Big stun onto Hooligan, actually gets hit by that Immortal stun as everyone's going to lock down good here once more. One more auto there from SC, but it's not the last one he needed.
That face melt from Hooligan basically saved good from going down. Look at that chain CC coming out from L5.
Oh man, I can't believe that ETC went back in there though.
My goodness.
This is going to be a fort for free. Now again, as I just briefly mentioned, on the first phase of Immortals, you have the defender's advantage as the Hell Immortal will go to Hell side and the Angel Immortal will go to the Heaven side, the blue side. So you have the opportunity to take this really defensive engagement, use your really high attack speed Greymane and the damage output that Sergeant Hammer has here to win the fight, to force that. But it's going to get a little bit different with the random spawns going forward. So this is naturally going to be a good push for L5. GG made some mistakes on the defense, so it got even more value. But it's going to get more competitive going forward. Ooh, look at that Swoy route to keep Natrogen safe. I love seeing things like that. A true support.
Yeah, nice protection coming out from Swoy, as he seems to be very happy when we met him when he was coming up in the elevator tonight.
He was in a good mood for sure.
Yes, he was.
So you can see some counter pressure being put on here.
And again, a full Q build right into Noblesse, as that's going to give a lot more pushing power and also wave clear.
Yeah, Pierce is gaining steam right now in
especially
Korea.
for not just Noblesse, for a lot of the Northern players here.
Yeah, Hamwon, I believe, was the other to play it. I think we've seen it 3 times, Noblesse and Hamwon specifically. Natrogen really aggressively positioned here, but a good cleanse.
But look at, that's the power of Malfurion there. Just rooting, and that just zoned out the entire rest of GG, except for Hooligan in the front. They actually put Hooligan into a dangerous situation.
Also, all that cocktail damage in that choke point as well coming out from Natrogen. This is just textbook funneling by L5 into that choke point, forcing this. And they're going to get a nice defensive setup on this Immortal again. So this is exactly what L5 wants. They want to force GG to hard engage into their insane attack speed slows and slows that they have on Arthas. The Noblesse going to be at the front. I'm going to take damage and just heal it all back. But did they go too far here? That's the question. Noblesse very low as they retreat back. So much DOT, Malfurion can't heal it all on his own.
And BDG has been keeping on that Nacho Jin, but Nacho Jin comes out safely, and Arthur seems to be almost dead, but just barely walks out, and Noblesse jumps right in.
Noblesse cycling his health so well, going in, absorbing a lot, walking out, getting his second win trait, proccing it, coming back in with 2/3 health. Very good cycling there. That's one way you could heal without having Malfurion. I mean, Malfurion can only heal one, so he's like, I'll just heal myself. You got the first aid on Hammer at 7 to help with that as well.
It's their teamwork. It's always Noblesse first jumping in and soaking some damage and gets out. He heals with trait and also heal from Malfurion. That's the time when Arthas jumps in to tank all the damage. The teamwork here is so perfect coming out for L5.
Again, trying to bait this engage where they have the defensive setup with Arthas and Muradin. Getting the stun here just to walk away, get another stack on that Q build. And finally, GG actually takes control of this zone. This is going to be the tougher fight for L5 as they're going to have to force their way in.
They just have to defend. Stall a lot of time as they are leading in that immortal fight, of course.
Okay, Root comes in here onto good. He doesn't get the whirlwind heals he wants to. Coming on to Jungha now. They're going to target him down.
Even cleanse on Jungha, and Sonya does get rooted, but just cleansed out right there.
Still, this is a massive lead for L5. It's only been slightly scratched, the Immortal here on their red side. Ooh, this is very aggressive here, what we're seeing from Hooligan. He does go down. Nacho Jin survives. Jaehyun is the next target here. Nacho Jin not here for the cocktail damage. Would love to have it right now.
But not enough. BDG just blows up at the end. And get that damage coming out from Noblesse. With that Q build, Noblesse actually does tons of damage with just one skill.
Yep. It's up at the front, and he can do this and just heal himself while Sway focuses on the other targets. We're going to see another Howling Blast connect here. Good's just going to whirlwind in. Not going to get out. Noblesse is not. He's got other ideas. He's just like, I'm going in. I'm going to the core. Level 10's up now. I would love to see, honestly, we're going to see the Haymaker again, by the way. But I would have loved to see also Twilight Dream for how much DOT damage is coming in here. The silence going to be pretty nice here as well, and going to help interrupt, for example. But I would have liked to see the Tranquility just because this is just too funny. This is working insanely well for L5.
This Haymaker is even better. Yesterday he was the only tank, so picking Haymaker seemed to be a little bit of a question mark there. But with Arthas here, Haymaker seems to be the right choice, even if you can get that Lunara from the back and just push Lunara away from the team. That would be a wipe for sure.
I mean, Noblesse goes in here. He's got the cleanse on him. He would have loved to have Avatar here. I still think the Haymaker is definitely not the right choice. It's just he wants to look fancy. He immediately dies, but they still don't have heroics, so even a 4v5 fight could still go in favor of L5. We also have Syndragosa coming down to disable this keep. They wanted to win the game with this push. Doesn't look like it's going to happen anymore.
Yeah, without more than that seems pretty rough at the moment, and Jaehyun goes all the way in with Rehgar. Rehgar does a lot of damage, but that's not going to be working so far.
Still no 10 here for GG. Cleanse already used here on Hooligan. There's the follow-up. Root as Lunara dies. Oh boy, L5 looks to take this fight. Noblesse back on his way over. If he can get here, they can continue to push the issue. Swoy fairly low on mana. He's just continuing to push this forward with the heals he's got, with the mana he has left. Noblesse is going to the bot lane right now, so they're just going to walk away from this as 10 is now reached.
Look at those covers coming out from Swoy. Just beautiful roots every single time. When Hooligans tries to power slide in, he gets rooted right away.
Well, I just wish we got to see all G-Clef of the non-meta heroics here. I wish we got to see Silver Bullet and the Twilight Dream. We were close. We were really close, but no cigar on that one. Nacho Jin's going to solo this top camp to keep the pressure on with the catapults. Noblesse gets bot. They get 3 camps instantaneously all at once.
See, now Noblesse can self-camp by himself with that Pierce and do so much damage, even wave clear on Alta Structure. Of course, last time he got stuck into the wall, and he just fell down right there because the team couldn't really bring down the wall in the time given. So
we're going to have double cap Shaman and the Impalers pushing down the core. This is going to be L5 taking the pressure to the north. Now 5-man pushing the bot to look for another keep. The wall is already halfway destroyed. There's a lack of ammunition on this top turret anyways. Good clearing this by himself, but he's not here to defend. Level 13 talent advantage for L5.
Okay, GG is committing everything into the team fight, leap, and mosh pit, of course. When there are so many CCs available, and to cancel the mosh, Hooligan would need to have a perfect mosh in order for the team to actually win the team fight.
Especially with Pierce, as you mentioned. I mean, it's so much easier to make that happen, and it's also more painful when you get hit by that Storm Bolt with the build they've been, that Noblesse has been doing here. The 3-level lead in scaling is also quite painful. You can see how much damage SC chunks people with as he goes into his auto attack build. His heavy artillery at level 1.
But seems to be the right one, as stage dive, as they're already pushed all the way until the core on top lane. Stage dive won't be too much powerful.
L5 just wants to have a clean finish here. They don't want to make any big mistakes. Yes. Noblesse is going to slow this down so they win the first part of this Immortal phase. They're already about 20% done. Halfway done with the first part. GT gets a little bit of damage done to L5's Immortal, but a 10k difference in HP. GT has to invade now, but this is the strength of L5's comp. They want this situation. They want to force the invade. And SC actually in dangerous position, but here's a double root. Noblesse with the damage there with the Pierce. Hits Wu-Jay. So they rotate around. The longer this goes on, the more passive this goes on, the more damage to the core, with L5 soon to have a third catapult now walking on the top lane. Junga will avoid that stun coming out from the Heavens Immortal. As Noblesse comes around the backside, Hooligan's isolated. Boom, killed here by the Twilight Dream, canceling the mosh pit, and Zeshal will go off onto good, but look at the burst here from BFG.
Beautiful as it is, beautiful as it is. Wow, all the damage in the line. This may actually be the end of this game.
It definitely is. Wu-Jay is the last to fall, and that is going to be GG. We are going into match point now. L5 with the 2-0 score, looking to make this a 3-0. The catapult's not even on the core here.
And even running wild from Greymane. Wow, Noblesse, the man, and likely we're going to see more of these Q builds coming out, especially from Noblesse, and let's see if this actually becomes the meta.
I mean, it seems like we're heading in that direction. I have to still want that we saw the Twilight Dream just for fun, but I think the Avatar is still stronger